Hello, I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. Today we're going to be looking at a prototype switch from a vendor in Singapore, the Ktech S1 Deep Blues. I know these aren't blue, just trust me, these are just the prototype colors. Just some specs on the switch. These are manufactured by Zepsody and have a proprietary bottom housing, an HPE top housing, a 13.5mm palm stem, and a 63.5 double-stage spring. Like I mentioned before with Frankenswitching, if you're planning on using these bottom housings, just make sure your top housing doesn't have the two prongs just for the leaf. A couple things to note. Since these are prototypes, there will be a handful of changes during the group I run, such as more factory lubing, and I'll touch on this later, changing to a gold-plated spring, and of course the colorway. Ktech does plan on running this switch sometime near the end of this month or earlier, and if you want the most up-to-date information, feel free to check their Discord and website linked below. The S1s are basically a stock Frankenswitch that I was chasing a couple months ago. A long pole palm stem, smooth bottom housing, and a nice unwiped top housing. However, from the prototype units, the lubing is probably one thing I would like to change. There is some lube on the legs of the stem as well as on the spring, but some of the switches have noticeable spring ping, and I tried hand lubing versus factory lubing for the stem, and I honestly haven't found enough of a difference to warrant lubing them again. One thing with Zepsody is that their leaf is kind of hit or miss, at least from my personal experience, and a small number of switches do have leaf ping, which this, along with the springs, will hopefully be fixed during the group I run when they add more factory lube. Feel-wise, they're pretty smooth with no noticeable snagging and have about 3.4mm of travel to them. And similarly, for sound-wise, they're decently clean and almost kind of reminds me of kind of like a P3 stem sound. And I'll have to say they fall sort of in the middle of the sound spectrum in terms of, I guess, pitch. They have a pretty satisfying bottom out and are actually really snappy on the return. I think these would be a strong contender if you're looking for a long pole switch with an interesting bottom housing and a similarly interesting sound profile. I'll play a sound test shortly, and you can let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks, and have a good one. Bye.